Everything begins with Pompey's defeat. Julius Caesar, gazing upon the charred remains of his former rivals, feels no satisfaction. After all, they were all Roman citizens. Moved by this shared tragedy, he approaches the surviving enemy soldiers. In a firm tone, he tells them they need not try to impress him, as their defense of Pompey was lackluster. Yet, he offers them a chance at redemption. They can join his legions. He assures them the same rights as any Roman citizen and a return to Rome as such, but warns them sternly, betrayal will cost them their lives. Soon after, Caesar's allies bring news. Pompey, once lord of the conquered lands, has fled disguised as a merchant toward Egypt. To complete his campaign, Caesar sets out for the kingdom, intent on meeting Cleopatra and her brother Ptolemy. Arriving in Alexandria, he finds a thriving city, a hub of trade and culture. Ptolemy commands the respect of his subjects. Caesar, after acquiring some goods, requests an audience with the young pharaoh. During their meeting, Caesar inquires about Cleopatra. Ptolemy claims she tried to assassinate him, leading to her exile. However, his own allies contradict this, revealing that Cleopatra fled Alexandria after an attempt on her life. As Rome's representative, Caesar is there to fulfill the late Egyptian king's wish, father to both siblings, that they rule together, a duty entrusted to Rome. Yet, it's clear neither is willing to share the throne. Before departing, Ptolemy presents Caesar with a grim gift, Pompey's ring and head, proof of his rival's demise. Caesar decides to linger in Alexandria to ease tensions between the siblings and locate Cleopatra. That evening, he discusses politics and resources with his confidants when a special visitor is announced. Cleopatra has sent a gift, to be received in private. Once his companions leave, a grand carpet is unrolled, revealing Cleopatra herself. Their conversation, initially strategic, covers maps, military campaigns, and ambitions. With sharp intellect, Cleopatra gets to the point. She knows Rome seeks Egypt's grain, treasures, and resources, and offers it all in exchange for her restoration as rightful queen. Caesar, cautious, asks for time to consider. She warns that tomorrow may be too late, for her and his safety. With an enigmatic smile, he replies that he knows how to survive. Later, Cleopatra eavesdrops on Caesar's talks with his advisors. Some praise her intellect, despite her boldness. But what strikes her is seeing Caesar, alone, struck by a mental health crisis, soothed by a trusted aide familiar with these episodes. Later, as Caesar bathes, surrounded by Cleopatra's maids, they discuss Alexandria's tensions. Caesar reveals a contingency plan, defend the city if possible, or escape by sea if all collapses. Cleopatra fears disaster, but Caesar, confident, insists it won't happen. He kisses a maid and departs. Reports soon reveal suspicious activity at the docks. Weapons and supplies are being secretly stockpiled. Caesar orders their discreet destruction. An ally hands him a strategic letter. Meanwhile, Cleopatra confides in a trusted physician about witnessing Caesar's crisis. The physician discloses that Caesar suffers from epilepsy, a condition said to have afflicted Alexander the Great, sometimes linked to divine favor. Then, disaster strikes. Alexandria's library burns, set ablaze by the Romans. Outraged, Cleopatra confronts Caesar for destroying knowledge. He explains the fire, meant for suspicious ships, spread unintentionally. Unfazed, he offers a tepid apology, sparking a heated argument. Yet, passion overtakes them, and Caesar yields to Cleopatra. An enemy attack interrupts the moment. Caesar takes command, repels the assault, and savors a brief victory, bolstered by secret reinforcements. In her daily routine, Cleopatra survives an assassination attempt by a maid. She forgives her but forces her to drink the poisoned wine, leading to her death. Informed, Caesar condemns the culprit and sends Ptolemy and his advisor to the front lines. Cleopatra, furious, reproaches him for not consulting her, now Queen of Egypt. Caesar admits his distrust, claiming he acted for Rome and Egypt's good. Despite the rift, she stays by his side during another crisis, offering genuine support. The next day, Cleopatra is crowned queen. In private, she speaks of her destiny to bear sons, comparing herself to Caesar's barren wife. He sidesteps, but she kisses him, dreaming of their shared lineage. At Alexander's tomb, she learned Caesar wept there, lamenting his failure to match Alexander's conquests at 52. Cleopatra comforts him, urging him to build a peaceful nation with Rome and Egypt as its pillars. He agrees, sealing their vision with a kiss. Soon, Caesar's wife learns of their affair and pregnancy. Resigned, she accepts. Cleopatra gives birth to Caesar Ion. Despite warnings, Caesar lifts the boy, recognizing him as his heir. In Rome, this sparks debate. Mark Antony, Caesar's rival, and Octavian, his adopted heir, fuel speculation. Some fear the Republic's end. Years later, Caesar, named dictator for life, invites Cleopatra to Rome. Her arrival, spectacular, dazzles the crowd. Caesar, beaming, mentors Caesar Ion. But at night, he bristles at the Senate, wary of his absolute power. He declares his intent to be emperor. Cleopatra, confident, backs him. Yet, Brutus, his loyal ally, conspires with senators to eliminate him, torn between loyalty and duty. On Proclamation Day, Caesar will be named king everywhere but Rome and Italy. Cleopatra urges him to accept, certain the rest will follow. A cry pierces the night, an ally warns of danger. Caesar remains calm. The plot, led by Brutus, is set. En route to the Senate, Caesar mentions Pompey, a dark omen for Cleopatra. She begs him to beware, but he, fearless, says he's ready. She kisses him fiercely, watching him go, gripped by dread. Her priestess, reading the flames, reveals a grim vision: Caesar, stabbed by senators, including Brutus, then consumed on a pyre. The enraged populace fuels the flames. Cleopatra flees Rome with Caesar's loyalists. Mark Antony tries to dissuade her, explaining Caesar's will, naming Octavian, protected Caesar Ion. But Cleopatra, convinced only Caesar could defend her son, leaves, hoping Caesar Ion will claim his throne. Mark Antony hunts Caesar's killers, slaying Brutus. With Octavian and Lepidus, they form the triumvirate, dividing the empire. Octavian gets Rome, Hispania, and Gaul. 3 years later, Octavian ousts Lepidus and targets Egypt. Mark Antony, short on funds, turns to Cleopatra. Despite his pride, he invites her to negotiate in Egypt. She hosts a lavish reception but wears a necklace with Caesar's face, wounding Antony. He confesses living in Caesar's shadow. Cleopatra retorts he seeks to outshine Caesar, not love her. Their passion ignites, and they unite. In Rome, Octavian learns of their marriage and demands for Caesar Ion. Furious, he manipulates the people to declare war. Cleopatra prepares her fleet. She sends an emissary to Octavian, who delivers Antony's will, requesting burial in Alexandria. This betrayal sparks outrage, and war erupts. Octavian executes the emissary. In a naval battle, Antony falls into a trap. Believing Octavian defeated, he finds it a ruse. His fleet is crushed, and Cleopatra, thinking him dead, flees. He follows, abandoning the fight. Octavian triumphs. In Egypt, Antony, broken, ignores Cleopatra. She pleads for him to fight, but he calls himself dead, haunted by his betrayal of Rome for love. Octavian offers peace for Antony's head. Cleopatra refuses, ready to fight. She urges him to find his strength. Moved, he rallies. Cleopatra instructs her advisor to fake her death if Antony doesn't return, hiding in her tomb. She bids farewell to Caesar Ion, ensuring his safety. Octavian, eager, dreams of capturing Cleopatra. Antony prepares the final battle but finds his camp deserted, his loyalists slaughtered. Octavian's troops spare him, per plan. Caesar Ion is captured and killed. Antony, despairing, learns Cleopatra died. Believing all lost, he takes his life but learns she lives. Dying, he's brought to her tomb, where they embrace one last time. Octavian finds the palace empty, a servant poisoned, and learns of Antony's death. He proclaims himself emperor. Facing Cleopatra, he offers Egypt under Roman rule, provided she renounces Caesar Ion. She agrees, asking that her son may one day rule. But her fate, like Antony's, is sealed in love and tragedy.